Hello. Hello,
Yes,
Suman. Hello,
hi.
sir.
Hello.
Yeah. So we can start, right?
Yes.
So today's topic is we have to install TypeScript in our application because until whatever we have learned, that is only for the JavaScript and JSX and JS file, right? So it is also required to install and understand the TypeScript. So what is the TypeScript? Why it is required? So TypeScript basically used for checking the type of data type. You can say that it's converted into the plain JavaScript code, TypeScript. But if you want to make sure your type should be checking with that code, so we have to use the TypeScript. So there is many differences with the TypeScript and the JavaScript. So TypeScript code, it's required some compiler, right? So whenever we have used the TypeScript in our project, that should be converted into the JavaScript, because in our process JavaScript only render in the browser. So installation must be sure of the TypeScript, because this will check the type, data type. If you have used function, data type, it will natively check, and then it will be converted into the TypeScript to the JavaScript. So it's more important to understand that TypeScript, how to install, and we can integrate the TypeScript in our system. So that today's agenda is that installation in TypeScript in our project, and do some hands-on and that basic scripting, that practice, and this all. Okay. So am I sharing? I'm sharing my screen. My screen is visible, right? Hello, Suman.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
Okay. So do one thing that. Yes. Okay. First, one brand new command, that is, you all know this, and that is your npm install create react app. Okay. And then create react app to react script. This is my TypeScript folder. It will take some time, and after that we have to install the TypeScript, because the extension is TSX. So previously you are using in the JS and JSX file. Now whatever the code we have to write, that is inside the TSX file. The previous code materials I have uploaded. Have you got that all? Hello?
Yes, I got.
Okay, okay. So in that folder, I think day 7 or 8, that might be, that I have uploaded that. API calling that whatever I saw.
Yes,
So you got right.
yes, but
If you have any
yes,
questions,
not now. We'll ask if we have.
okay, you can ask me in that after this day demo and the installation part, all the things, right?
Okay.
Until installation, you can ask me the questions. So it takes some time if you have this question. So in that folder, yes, React TypeScript is going to be installed and it will check the dependencies, all the things.
Kaushik,
Yes,
by default, it triggers the Git repository.
can you repeat? I cannot understand.
Yeah, just a minute. By default, in React project, by default, it initiates the Git repository.
No, Git repository you have to add that is showing the placeholder, right?
Okay,
Initialize
okay.
this repository dot git folder there initialize, but you have to configure these things. When you upload the code base in the Git, that time you have to configure these things. Okay.
Okay, but React never gives opportunity directly to, initiate the Git repository.
You can saw this. This is the Git repository. The initial means one dot git folder you have to create na inside the React folder. So that is that initialization has been done.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Then you have to configure git remote that git clone. Then you have to fetch the data, all the necessary requirement or that updation you have to done from your side. Okay, then it will be added. By default on .git folder they have been created. That is the initialization file. Okay, .git.
Okay,
And you
okay.
can see that it's some deactive means some fade out, right? So
Yes,
that's
yes.
means a hidden folder. Okay, my hidden folder is layer is on, that's why it's showing. So it's a
Okay,
hidden. Okay,
okay, okay,
so
okay,
it by default is installed. Okay,
okay, okay.
now I am inside the React script. So okay, this is as usual normal React project. Now we have to add some new comments for adding inside that code base, or you can see that CMD. So that is, you can say npm install save. You see in that package.json file, there is no TypeScript or anything, dependencies are not there. It's a normal JSX and JS file, right? Now you have to configure this thing. I have to write a minute. Yes, npm install save TypeScript data types, no, data types, React data types, React DOM, and also checking that just TypeScripting. That is so types just. At a time, I have to install three or more the types node, types React, and types React DOM and just. Okay, almost. We here I have to do that. Typescript types node set of types React types React DOM set of types just. That you have to add in the React TypeScript. So you can see the all the dependencies that are added. You can go and this is the dependencies. Now I do one thing. If I will first run this, yes, yes, and then run start. What will happen if I will change it to the ESX? Index.tsx. These two files, right? index.tsx. Now JS is not there, right? So I have to add one more file, that is tsconfig.json file. You have to add that. Config.json. It should not be in, it should be a root, not in the SRC. tsconfig.json. And I will add the content. This is the configuration of tsconfig. And although I've added the TypeScript, so I have to write that type HTML element. Logo not required. One more minute. Maybe inside that folder name. That I think, yes, that should be here. Yes. No. Yes. It takes some time, so loading that project in the browser. This is our TypeScript project, right? So I am not adding any JS or JSX syntax. So they're in the TypeScript. So now you have to add something here to understand that TypeScript is working or not, or any. I'll remove this thing. Okay. Some basic types I will write. So what I'll do in the class, I have extend React or component input or React. That should not be there, and render. Take some basic types. Basic types will check net value. Like string. So, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 160 I'll take this data type first, right? Type of hello. So hello is a string, right? So if I will add any, so if you will add any in the data type, and you can pass any. But I am not recommended this thing, any. You have to pass proper data type, like in string. If I going to add the number, so it will show me the error. So what it tell, the type number is not assignable to type string. It should be string, right? Same thing in the number also. I just remove this thing. One. If I will take one boolean value, let value boolean equal to true. If I want to pass string, obviously it does not allow string not type the boolean. We have to pass the proper data type. Next, if I have some number array, right? Like this thing, I have to pass number, and here I can pass that. If this is the number array, then I have to pass the number. If I am going to add this thing, it will show me the error. Only pass the number in that array. Some basic string that if you have array, okay, open, and you have string. To pass this thing, that is some basic data type. Also, one more thing is like uh, if I want to pass in that array number and string, so how can I do that? Like it's called tuple Python. But here you can also pass this thing string number. And you pass hello and comma 2 number. And if I will add okay, is hello. Or one more thing that is enum. With the enum, I will take codes of value is equal to 1. Second value is equal to 2. Or if we're going to take one thing, that is your function, right? Enum and also some function like const value will pass number is to return something, return a number. Yes. If I will add it will pass the return one. So in the if your data means in the function, if you pass the data return that is string, so we have to pass the string in the data type. On the basis of data type, that type you have to add. So this is the basic some data types that you have to add. And what is inside the ts config? So you can see that in the compiler option, right? If I will not add this file tsconfig.json file, so JSX and TSX, whatever I have write the TSX code, that will not be rendered in the TypeScript to the JavaScript compiler. So some configuration like target ES6 module, we prefer ES6 and allow JS2. You can also allow JS if I will false, so it will not work. So that strict mode, it will check the TypeScript strict with strict mode true. So module yes makes. So this is the parameters we have to add. So after installation, we have to add tsconfig.json file, and that should be in the root inside that project, right? In the root place that we have to add. And here, if you add tsx instead of JSX and some TypeScript and type, we have to consider. The next one example I want to show, that is one prop I will pass from that application, and that should be on TypeScript verified, and it should be rendered in the other component. One thing is there, right? I'll create one component that is message.tsx. Simple const message done. PTab. Simple thing, export default message. Go to React. And you have to input this thing in your app. Now what I'll do, I'll pass this thing. So if I want to change this one, only message dot okay, I'm not write anything. Message component is added. Now let's pass one of prop one is equal to this is my text. You see that we are getting one error because in the TypeScript, first we have to define the props and here we have to pass message. That value prop one is your prop one. What is the value? String, right? In JavaScript, when we added this thing, we are not adding in the JavaScript. We just simply pass the props. And this value message tx use that prop dot multiple props you can pass like prop 2. It should be defined here. Prop 2 like I am doing number. You can see the string is not assignable to type number. It should be also string. Here I want to pass this thing prop dot prop 2. So this is coming, right? What we'll do in the React component, we can pass our state. Like to remove this thing. This value also. I'll create one interface. Interface. So what is interface? First, I have to know. So interface receive the function and values that is coming from the hooks or logic hooks. So it will add that data structure, data type, right? Interface. And provided the data we can pass. So I am adding the prop1, props2. That I will create one interface. So this interface, it creates the structure of that your data. Means whatever props you are going to pass, it will create the syntax of the this class and the type, and that is not and the TypeScript, when it compiles, that does not convert the interface to JavaScript. It's only required for type checking. What is the type is there? So that's why we're going to create one interface here. So interface, I will use user message equal to equal. Now what I will do, prop1, props2, I will cut it and pass it. Here you can pass that interface. So it could be the different file also. You can add the different file. And props, props dot props one. Now if I will add other props name, it will showing error because from that interface, but these two props I have added. So if I will dot, so you can see prop one and props dot props prop two. That is correct. So this instead of prop one props two in the TypeScript, you can create one interface, and from that interface you can pass the data, which will also in the same value. Now next process that we can use our state, and we can pass the state from the interface, and that I will pass over here. So I will create one state. state. That is your name or anything you can check it. This value I will pass here. Message. Simple text. Simple text. Then I have to add the type. It. So that value will be read only, and type of the initial state. So throughout your application, the state will change. Means why I will add these things. So if your state will be changed throughout the application, then the type of the state will change as well, right? So by doing this type of installation, this could also help you to provide the state as per the needs. So that's why the type state in the read only I have added this thing. Then I have to pass the state. Yeah. And read only equal to I will do instead of writing this text, I can pass this dot state dot like name.
Kaushik, what is the meaning of that read only state colon state equal to need?
This one, na? This value,
Previous.
right?
Yeah.
So if your state is there, right? Const state, I create one object, na?
We are
So-
creating this init state for initializing the pros, right?
Initial is the state. This is the initialize your state, right?
Okay.
So I will pass the state. You can pass props and state over here, right? You can see that React.component, we can pass the state. So earlier, what we will write? These state, inside the state we have to pass none. This thing we will write, right? So same, I will create different initial state. This thing, right?
And what is the read only there?
So if you are pass the read only state, na, means whatever your application will be changed, the data will be changed. So this value will never, means like a constant, right? Means
Yeah,
this value will be read only. So it value never be changed. When the state will be changed from one component to other, so this will be read only. Okay.
that will be prevent to change it.
Yes. That will be prevent to change that. Means if your any problem or any error is occurs, so that will never be changed. So I will add the read only. That's why. So we can actually use this inside of the props. Also, you can see that this dot state dot name, and also we can pass the same value here. This dot state your state dot, like you can take it message, okay? And
But
then
why it need to be twice read only defined? We define on
this is the
11
type.
line as well.
No, this is the type.
Okay,
This is
only
the
we
type.
define type.
Yes, this is the type. This type I will pass. You can say in the state, right? I am not passing initial state. Initial state I will pass as a type state. You can see
Means
that.
11 line is a and defining and
Yes, we
declaring.
are
Sorry.
declaring the state. Okay. You
Okay.
can see if you hover. So this is the read only name and message. Yeah. So
Hmm.
this state I will pass here. Okay, and that state value that will accessible from this state. If this state is not I am passing, so it will the data type for that I have added colon. What I will add any or instead of state, right? So you can pass any anything, but I will create my own type. This type I will pass.
Okay.
Okay, this is I will pass this my type over here. Okay, and then you can get the value over here.
Okay.
So through that, yes,
Okay, Kaushik, is the read only function like act like a constant in JavaScript?
const in that declaring the value, right? Const. So same
Yes.
means this is const we cannot use in the when data type we are installing initialize.
Yes.
So that time we have used const, but in the state you have to add read only method. Yeah.
No, I am asking like
Yes, yes,
you are
yes,
putting
yes.
in currently in TypeScript, okay?
Yes, yes.
So will the read only act like a constant in JavaScript?
Yes, 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 yes. Const method mein you cannot change, right? Any
Yes,
value.
yes,
Once the
yes,
value you have passed, this value you cannot modify. Only
yes.
this value is there. So that is the reason that our this initial state, this is not never be changed, right? We cannot modify
Okay.
from other application, means other state we will pass or update the state. We cannot pass this. So this is locked. You can say that in the layman term. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. And read only is not available in JavaScript, na?
No, no, no. You cannot. That's why I have installed the TypeScript previous in that application, na. So you can see that TSX file I have added, not any
Yes, yes,
JSX.
yes.
So it's all TSX. So TypeScript, some interface is there. So state, you can read only this methods is there. Okay.
Okay. Is there any advantage to use the TypeScript over
Obviously,
JavaScript in React?
advantage is that if you're means in your web application, right? Different data type is there, right? So that can
Yes.
be number, that can be string. So if you pass one number instead of string is required, but you can pass the number, it will make error. But if your declaration should be very means when you initialize these things, so at that point we can fix the error. We cannot pass because we are TypeScript is basically using for checking the type. If the proper data type we cannot pass, it will show error. So that's why that mostly recommended is that initial means using the TypeScript in the project. JSX you can because JSX you cannot get any you cannot get any data type, right? You can pass
Yes.
anything or any variable. So interface में क्या होता है if you use the interface so it's you can say in that oops concept में जो what I'll tell that is your in
Setgate.
yes what
Setgate method.
no Setgate means the encapsulation type of thing, right? Means you are creating the encapsulated this thing, right? If I will in that you can see user method. So data type I will pass here many and many data type we can pass, but instead of that I will create one interface. So interface can we I will create the interface and pass over here, right? So inside that you can pass multiple data type, and if you data type is string, and if I am going to change the data type 1, तो आपका अंदर ही नहीं होगा कोड.
Yes, we got it.
So that is the advantage. So TypeScript से recommend है. So you can inside that interface you can define your props. You can pass them into the component. So Recommended is interface. Okay, we'll create.
And
Exactly.
on the performance basis, is there
Performance
any?
is obviously because you're on the top of the JavaScript, you are using the TS, right? So every data type, every compilation, it will check. You cannot pass anything. It will compile in a that will be granularly check all the files, and it will. So you can see earlier this message, right? File successfully emitted, waiting for types check result. So issues checking in progress. So it will lint like a lint process. Like if you're linting your method, your project, so it will check everything. The data type, your proper data type, you are pass or not. You can pass your using interface or not. So issues checking in progress. So earlier when I use that JavaScript, that type of message we never expect, right? It not checked. It, and you can see the no issues found. That means if anything error is there, so it will tell me immediately. It will pass. It is checked, or that will be checked, right? If I will add here, you can see same thing. It will webpack, but error in this file. So you can also see in the line number also, right? That is the thing. The advantage is आपका bug fix करने से पहले ही you can get that what your data or your data type, that how may efficiently or effectively I can pass as a props. We cannot get that in the JS you are using now. These things we never checked, right? We cannot never check this kind of things. So that is the one
And
advantage.
इस टाइप ऑफ थिंग बाद में लाइक रन टाइम एरर के रूप में सामने आते हैं ना?
Yes. So that is the main thing. So that's the reason. So TypeScript आपको add करना है project में if you are using TypeScript project, right? So that is.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No more.
Okay, and one more concept, that higher order component, that is also important in React. So higher order component क्या होता है? That is a, you can tell it's a advanced technique in React for reusing your component logic. Like, so HOC, I am not telling it's a hook, or I am not telling it's a concept of any React API, but rather than it's a technique. You have to pass your component as an argument in one component, and it will return that other in return that component. So a higher order component, you can tell it's a function, simple function. So what the function takes a component and returns a new component inside that. So if you are using larger application, so HOC very help, means all the time we no need to means if your data is required, or if you means if you get the data from your data library, and then you will create one common component and pass the other component as an argument and return a new component. From the return new component, you can wrap your component, so it will render the data. That is the main concept of higher order component. That small demo I will show you. But first I am to showing that inside the TypeScript how to implement the HOC part in the TypeScript. That is also important concept. So I will do one thing in the app.tsx. I'll create one HOC file. That is your HOC.tsx. What I'll do, I'll create one. I'll first input React const this value that is required. Got it. Is it type also you can pass it. Now what I will create? I will create one const. Your component is name. I will create one class. See inside the component. Yeah. And then I will pass state.
Kaushik, it's like function returning a class.
Yes, so I'll create one top of the function class. I will create one higher order component, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
you can create the other component as an argument, and it will return a new component. That is the concept of higher order component. Okay.
This is the function returning a class is not a concept of TypeScript.
Yeah, means I can understand. Means this is your this is my component, right?
Yes, yes.
So I have to wrap this inside one function. So that is the main means I will when I will pass the component, this is my HOC component. Okay. So you can see the wrapped component, na?
No,
I'll
no, no.
wrap.
I'm asking, is this a whoops related
Yes,
concept?
yes.
Okay.
This is a hook related concept. So it is tricks. You cannot you can say it's not any hooks or it's not any React API. It's
Okay.
a concept that we can pass new one component as an argument and create other component from
Okay.
there. Return a
Okay.
new component, not other. Return a new component. We can transform whatever logic we have to pass and return a new component. That
Okay.
is the main motto of that. Okay. First, I'll create 1 minute. Okay, I'll tell you. So that is read only where I will the render return. Will return just a wrapped component. Name will pass. Not name, in my case, that will be the prop one. 1 minute, and that will be the prop one, right? Prop one. Equal to what I will pass this dot state dot name and prop two. It is prop two, right? Prop two, yes, prop two. That will be the prop two. this dot get dot message. Done. And what will return? Return our A to C. I think is an export default message A to C. That I've created. And go to the message.tsx 1 minute. So I have to import the created message.doc from example equal to box box.doc. The message will do doc dot sample. Minute React that is not any m.tsx. What is the message again? It is not the minute. You can get the value. Okay, and also in the message, just to make it correct. To understand the concept, right? Or I will explain it. So what I will do, same thing I have added in the app component, right? So I'll create this, means initial state and type was there. So this is the main new thing. We'll create one HOC and that will wrapped, and I will create new component. And here I will pass the value. And your message HOC will be there, right? And in the message.tsx, what will pass the data. The example I props this value, you can pass the value, and I will create the HOC and pass this example in the message. You can create multiple components and pass your example. Okay, I'll create other component once. Check it.
Kaushik, can you please show me app.tsx once?
1 minute, 1 minute. I will create other component. Just check it. Mm. 1 minute. Huh?
Okay.
Just example 1. Pass. Message 1. Let's say this one, right?
Yes, okay. Oh, at a time, it is taking two components and it is rendering two components as well, right? Message 1 and message.
No, that is up to you. You can take one
Okay.
component also. Okay.
Okay.
That is the display, means message
Okay.
component is there, right? This is my
Okay.
message component. Na? So message component mein earlier what we will do, I will create the props and I will pass the prop this one, right? So entire thing I will create a separate component. You can see HOC. Other component I will create, right?
Okay.
And on the top of the HOC, I will create the wrapped component. Well, any name you can is the argument, this component name, okay?
Okay.
You can
Okay.
pass it. And here I will pass the props. Now if your initial state is inside the component, if your value it's come from JSON. So any number of value you can pass and multiple components will be created. You just pass the value over there. Okay.
Okay.
So this value I will pass and HOC I will return inside here, right? In the component. And that is message HOC, that is the top of the component. You can pass multiple component as a wrapper. You can see in the message 1 also, I'll pass this message this value, right? That is the thing. Any questions? Who says, somebody has asked some questions regarding the API. Can you please tell me? Okay. Then is there other questions related to the HOC or these things?
No, Kaushik, from my side.
Okay. Suman, Pusanita, is there any questions? So
No.
okay. Well, close the session, okay, today, and this file will upload. Okay, Amarnath, okay, bye.
Oh, bye.
Hmm.
unlock रखिएगा। Bye. और इतना दुकान पर बंद कर दो। हाँ, बात ऐसा क्यों? लाइट लाइट ক্লিয়ার আছে। হ্যাঁ, আমি সেদিনকে নেমেছি, নেমে আমরা ওই আমি আর দাদা নেমেছিলাম, নেমে আমাদেরকে চা টা খাই। আর এখানে এসে দেখি সব বন্ধ। মানে শুধু তোমার দোকান, তখন তো নেক্সট চাকরি দিয়ে দাও। একটা তো বাড়ে রেখেছি।